Welcome back to Satisfactory. I'm just glad you're here. I think what we need to do is we need to add some power. Our power situation, this does look cool. It's gonna look even cooler when I get all these facades in place. We need to add some power, and I think we've detected last episode that we've got room for plenty of power. We're only using 400 rocket fuel per minute. We're making somewhere closer to 1,000. I want to see how far away can we be before we start getting the... Oh. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. So this one is where we make the rocket fuel. This is where we bring in the turbo fuel. This is a battery. Bunch of batteries in there. I'm thinking if I put like a fuel mixer in here, a slosher, then I could, sorry, I'm talking way too low. I could have a situation where I could have all of these blenders supply fuel to all of the generators connected to the slosher. Let me do that first. This is a project that's off the books. $6,000 fuel might not be enough is the problem. Why is it a half? One, two, three, 4, 5 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5.5 from the edge, 7 by 7. My hover pack feels extra slow these days. Let's see, if we say that's 1, then we go with 4. Then we put a half foundation in. Then I believe I said 7. Did I say 7 here? It would have to be 7 from here. So 3 to that way. 3 to that way. 6 this way. And then just finish the square. Okay, that's a nice platform. Now, how many actual fuel outputs do we have? I know we've got this one that goes here. And I would suspect we have at least 3 of them. One for each side, right? But are we mixing and matching it? Turbo fuel goes in through there. Are we trying to pull all this from one pipe? That doesn't seem right. That could be why we're not getting all the rocket fuel out. Oh, but I only have 2 of these. That's interesting. I think I need to get each one of these out on their own pipe. Because this guy's doing... $200... He's doing 700 right there. This guy... 200, 300. So yeah, it's 1,000. So we need at least 2 pipes. Right now, it kind of looks like we only have 1 pipe. When I put this together, I probably did not have all of the rocket fuel being used. And I guess technically I still don't. So the rocket fuel comes out of this section and down in here. Yeah, then it double connects here. Eh. Going to do the same thing that we've got going on here. Oh, I should probably align that a little better. Yeah, that fill rate is ridiculous because it's a desperate. Technically, this isn't gonna work because this is 700 rocket fuel. I might peel this off early. And we'll make a third one. Nothing worse than making a bunch of fuel and then not having it where you need it when you need it. You're doing all the work and then you're not getting the credit. That's a terrible combination. We're gonna get it 90% aligned. It might as well be 100% aligned. Okay. Those things are so backed up that right now they're throwing 580 all over the place, but see, now they're emptying out. Even this guy's emptying out now, so that's good. I'd like this to be as close to the center as possible. That's the downside to circular builds where the game isn't built for circular builds. And we can just connect you to here. I'm guessing that pipe stand is there for no reason. So this one immediately goes up and connects to the fuel consumer ring in question. Rocket fuel burns very, very, very efficiently. 4.17 times 24. Yeah, it's right at 100. I'm thinking we'll build... What I want to do is... Okay, so here's the problem. I want to have more fuel, because right now, our power levels are ridiculous. So I want to have more power. I said more fuel. I was thinking about fuel, but I want to have more power. But for obvious reasons, these things are not making equal amounts. Ooh, turbo fuel's already getting low. Maybe we don't have access to a full 1,000. That's good to know. This one's rocking it. But really, this one running 100%, right now it's only running 67%. But when it is running 100%, I think it's not running 100% because it's not fully having its fuel taken. This guy by itself can run 1, 2, 3, 4. This whole power situation by itself. So as much as possible, I want to make sure that that one blender has access to as many generators as possible. And in order to do that, we want to kind of have these guys on their own. Well, we don't want them on their own logistical line of generators. We want each blender to touch as many generators as possible. That's what I'm trying to get to. So let's start with, I don't know, 3-level base. So ideally, this one in and of itself would also participate in this process. I think all of these guys have their own personal extended storage and internal storage. Probably doesn't make sense to disconnect this until we have to. Interestingly enough, that means it's going to be something like this, and then something like that to feed back into it. Effectively, this will go back and reconnect this once we've got this other part done. Something's not built right. Actually, take from depot first, please. I might have to increase the height of this by 1. The problem is none of the fluid storage have multiple inputs. If there was a version of it that even had 2 inputs, it would be much easier to do this. If I go up, I'd have to split it, then merge split it 3 times, and then end up with 3 outputs. Ugh. That's interesting. And theoretically, we'd want to also maintain 3 pipes of throughput. No, 1800 is a lot. 2 pipes of throughput is just enough, which gives us 0 capacity for future expansions. If I put in a organization, industrial fluid buffer, and then for each of these we put in actually it probably needs to be kind of on the edge out here. It goes in here, out here, in here, out here, there. So odd numbers. Somehow I doubt this pipe is gonna reach all the way up there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that would be perfect. Just looks terrible. So it'd be 3 or 4. I mean, I guess technically I could come in here, out here, out here, in here, out here, out here, and then do something on this side of it. It'd just be a little less convenient. Yeah, that's more storage than even I need. We'll put the pumps under here once we get them all properly split and merged and connected. I guess I could just say, hey, each one of you just has to do a split merger to each one of these. Probably better have some version of this be straight. I'm trying to decide, is this enough? If I just connect all of these like this, is it enough? I think all we need is the pump. Just checking to make sure that pump will get us all the way to the top. Okay, these are all pumping now. See, and this is the problem, is this one is pumping like crazy. But these other ones are not getting anything out of it. Is it as simple as just connecting this to this, this to this, and then connecting it back? And then maybe putting a valve on it as close to this as we can get it. That valve blows the head lift. Maybe this valve doesn't need to be here. Maybe the pump by itself will act as the valve. Fill rate 340, fill rate 340, fill rate 75. Now the original has less than the other ones. What is it draining to? Well, that doesn't make any sense. All right, maybe we should valve it here. Definitely don't want it going the other way. Like, once you get in there, you need to stay in there, buddy. There we go. Right, so now all these guys are pumping, so these would all have fuel in them momentarily. How does this first one have a massive fill rate with no drain? Okay, it's figuring it out. Just taking a second. Thing's already half full. So, I'm tempted to say, if I break this, and this, that means we're effectively only doing 600 max. That would give us even flow to all locations, but not maximized flow. Yeah, I gotta keep this in here. But maybe I don't have to do this twice. Yeah, that's doing what I'm thinking it's doing, which every machine on one of these pipes now has access to all of these generators. So if right now This one is sending out 194, which is half of the 392 that we have here. If this one fills up, if all the generators are full on this line, then that full amount will go over here. And now this 194 is getting split 2 ways here. You know, the only thing that would make this better is if this high-powered one was in the center. I wonder if I can make that switch. Now this 300 is 100 on each side. Well, it will be when it figures out which way it wants to pump this. And then theoretically, as these additional ones kick on, they'll get fuel equally as well. So now all of our blenders are connected to all 3 of these. Uh-oh. That's not right. Ooh-wee, that was way wrong. I'm glad we checked that. That would have been a nightmare to diagnose later. So now these generators are being fed by all of our blenders. Which the plan would be that this blender will always be able to run. Yes, we're back up to 95% now. Now we just have to keep it fed with enough turbo fuel. Yeah, and since this thing's already basically full, it's not gonna have, I mean, let's see, so this one's connected to this one. This one could probably be connected to 2 of these. We're on 1,000, so we've got 6 more that we could build. 1, 2, 3. If we build 3 more, that's 18,000 power. Which is 50% of what we currently are making. Then I think we'll just have to come up with some fun design for this. Our fuel distribution center here. I think that's about it. And I do think that helps our efficiency greatly. At the very least, we need to build one more fuel circle. Just because this guy can make 500 by itself. And we only have 400 in demand. So at the very least, we need one more of those. You know, no, it's fine. Yep, we're gonna call it. It is bothering me though. And we've got all this fuel in here. That's probably going to be the thing that's going to keep me from rebuilding all this. Yeah, we're just going to call it. I'll cover up my non-centered terribleness in the design of the facade of this building. And then we'll have... And it looks like everybody's still getting fuel. Let's just double check and make sure everybody's still getting... Yeah, everybody's still getting fuel. If we built one more ring, we would have enough power to cover our current consumption. I could be tempted to put some batteries in here. I might put these near the front so we can... Oh, that's right, these don't stack naturally. Ugh. And yes, technically they're not batteries, they're a power of storage. All right, we'll call it right there. That's our distribution ready to go. So if we want to have multiple power rings, we can make at least, I mean, just based off of this one alone, we know we can make at least one more. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left that could theoretically make enough for 5 more. So we've got room for 6 more power rings without doing any other overclocking or looping. And then at some point we're going to want to put in a power augmenter to really take advantage of all this power. I mean, 10% more power at the beginning of the game is almost nothing, but now it's starting to show up. If we could get it supplied correctly, you get 30%, so that'd be another 10,000 power. It's worth considering. But I think for now, we've got what we need. Power distribution ready to go. Oh, these guys actually picked up a little bit of power, and they immediately had to send it out. They'll be okay. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.